And here we are, Tuesday, at our 2 p.m. hangout, and we are excited, very, very, very excited today. I'm going to introduce our panel. We have with us today Wally Piper and Lita Karnowski, two of our regular attenders, two our regular panelists, I should say. The others, we gave a break today and told them that they could go enjoy themselves, and hopefully they're going to watch in. I'm getting messages all over the place today, so bear with me. Things are ringing, and they shouldn't be. But anyways, I'm going to introduce Lita today, who is going to introduce our special guests. So if you have any comments, please feel free to make the comments either on your YouTube channel or if you're on Google Plus in the Google Plus channel, and we'll go from there. Lita, go ahead, take it away.
Good. Thank you so much. And Cherylanne, I would just love to just say so much. Thank you so much for coming into our hangout. Cherylanne is not only our team leader for North America, but she is also a Gold Elite with the Karatbars organization. And it's such a privilege. It's really, again, a humbling experience just to be on the same panel with you. And, I've always admired you for your wonderful personality and also your personal touch. So I would just love to ask you, how does it really feel to have that successful life that you are now experiencing? And that's my first question to you this morning, or this afternoon, sorry.
I've been fortunate, Lita, to have seen success many times in my life. I've always owned my own companies, and my husband and I have been very successful in the past. But, this is a little different because it was a new twist for me. My background is building large sales organizations and taking them nationwide. And being right there, being the pulse, being the heartbeat of the whole company. And when I joined with Karatbars and partnered up with Harold, it was a challenge for me because I had never ever considered doing online marketing. I was below average when it came to using the internet. I knew how to Google and how to do a search engine. I was a great surfer, and but I had employees that handled all the computer stuff, and so it was a learning curve for me. And the main thing, Lita, I think the success that I feel today is a little different than the success I've seen in the past, because today I'm seeing and hearing stories. The true measure of success or of a person is what happens to everyone around them. And when I'm seeing and hearing the stories out in the field of people being homeless, and then they're coming into Karatbars and having 5 figures a week, I think that's the definition of success this side of my life. It's not all about me. It's not all about, my particular situation. But Karatbars enables us to bless a lot of people. And when you see their success, it's just a completely different level of anything that I've ever experienced before. I've had salespeople that have made a lot of money in the past, but not the kind of money that Karatbars enables them to earn through the company that we have here today.
Oh, good. Well, that really resonates with me, especially with your experience with social networking. And I know many times you've always been there for me. You've always held my hand. And so it's really been a beautiful journey for me, to have been acquainted with you. Now, the other question that I have is, now, did you ever really think that this would, be of such a magnitude as, to what we are doing right now with, the global expansion of Karatbars? And again, your leadership is, right there, is phenomenal.
Well, when we lead, we don't lead with ourselves. We've got a lot of quality people in Carrot Bars, and Lita, you're one of them. And thank you for your compliments and your friendship and your support over the last 4 years or so. Wally, you as well. We've had many conversations over the years and stuff. Did I see it doing what it's doing today? Yeah, I did. I had dreams right from the beginning, and some of those dreams scared me a little bit. And but all of those dreams are becoming reality right now. And honestly, the dreams and visions I had in the very beginning, they're even greater than what we see today. So I think that we're just entering a phase that this is the tip of the iceberg. This is the tip of the iceberg. It's we've got that foundation down. It's solid. It's strong through relationships around the world. And I see what we're doing right now is just the basic foundation. This is going to get a whole lot bigger, and we're going to bless a whole lot more people than you've ever imagined.
Mhm. Well,
And
that's great.
so
That's
I just
great.
appreciate y'all allowing me to be around for the ride.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. And I think I'll turn it over to Wally right now because he has some really interesting insights because he's been here with us, I guess, right from the beginning as well. So, Wally, over to you.
No, thank you, Lita, and welcome aboard, Cherylanne. It's always a pleasure to discuss virtually any topic with you because it's always an enlightening conversation. Uh, when we were talking about Cherylanne's success, the thought crossed my mind on day one when you had absolutely zero affiliates. When you embarked on this journey to build the organization that you presently have, first of all, what went through your mind? What was your mindset, and what were you thinking about?
I said no. I looked at my husband and I said no. I had just sold a company and I had came home, and first time in 35 years I found myself sitting at home, and you can only clean so much house. There's only so much cleaning you can do. And I needed to work my mind, but I don't work a job just to work a job. I have to.
I think we may have lost Cherylanne for the moment.
And she's gone. We are
Oh,
going to have to wait for her to come back in. I noticed that she was having some connection issues. The picture
Yes.
was fading in, fading out a little bit. So, as she was saying, um, it was interesting that she was starting to tell the history and how she had said no to begin with, and
Yeah.
where she
She and, she and
sits.
I she and I had talked about 2 or 3 different times
You're
in the
rocking,
past
Willie.
about her early. Yeah, I know. Bad habit. Uh, we had talked about her early experience with Carrot Bars, but we never talked about what she did to actually build the organization. In other words, we know that she has this organization, and we know
Right.
in general terms, but what specifically on day one did she do to get her first recruit and her second recruit and her third recruit and so on? And how did she? What methods of training did she use to get them up to speed and so on? Because back then there wasn't anything to work with.
Right.
I was recruiting people in and telling them what a great business Carrot Bars was going to be whenever it opened, but we never knew when it was going to open. I said, you got to come on board on faith, and that's really what they did. Welcome back,
There
Cherylanne.
she
I'm
is.
back. I'm back. It just went blank on me.
Yeah,
But no,
when
Wally, I said no. And my husband begged me to do some research on the company. And I agreed to do that. And then 2 weeks into it, I couldn't walk away. And this is a true story. I actually told a couple of friends. At that time, Jimmy was hosting a few little calls, and I said, just go listen to this. I don't want you telling a soul. just go listen to this. I'm doing my due diligence right now. We can join for free, no problem. Could be a great opportunity, but don't tell so until I get through my due diligence. And long story short, I was trying to be a secret agent, and 6 months later, there was over 5,000 people on the team. And I'm like, so that's kind of how it happened. And you tell somebody that's how you win in this business. Tell them not to say it. So
Well,
do not repeat this.
Well, that begs the question: how did you promote the system and train them and get them somewhat up to speed? Because obviously they just didn't materialize out of thin air. There had to be some type of structure, and I'm curious, and I believe other people are too from the comments that I've had. Other people are kind of curious about the structure that you put together to keep everything on track.
Well, Wally, that first year when I talked to the company, I knew it was going to be a year but one thing, everybody kept saying, well, when are we going to open? When are we going to open? And I kept telling everybody a year. And folks like you were like, well, they got to get it open. They got to get it open. So it was never meant to be open that first year. But everybody had their mindset. They were so excited about being able to acquire gold. And you talk about a system. We did one phone call, one little webcast a week every Tuesday. Jimmy Larson was the host. And everybody attended that webcast, and Jimmy kept saying 2 weeks, 2 weeks. We call him Jimmy 2 weeks today. But that's how it was built. I mean, you do not have to be a marketing pro. You do not have to have a specific system. Just be real with people. And I don't have the tools, the education that maybe y'all have in network marketing. At my age, I'm too old. They say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. And my whole life, since as long as I can remember, people have been trying to get me to hush. And my parents had told me always, I talk too much. But I've always just talked to people. And I think that's what we've got to get back to. We've got to start building relationships, whether you're online or offline. It's all about the relationship that you have with an individual. If your mindset is just to go out there and get them to register, sign on the dotted line, and get a package, and walk, and your job's over, and that's success. Success is finding people like you and Lita and Victor, and the Joe Normans, the Boomers, that get the urgency of what we're trying to accomplish here with Carrot Bars. And you find those like-minded individuals. Boomer always says, that he's a frog. You can't strap rings on him and make him fly. You can't force somebody to be something they're not. And if somebody had told me I had to sit in front of a computer all day long and learn how to do all this marketing and stuff, I'd have been lost. Because I'm not interested. I can go to the mall and talk to 20 people faster than I can read through one chart on how to get started on the computer. So, that's what I'm saying. We just need to let people be themselves.
Is that kind of essentially how you really started it, by like one-on-one and
That's exactly how I started it.
Okay, that's the answer.
It's that easy.
Because so many people look at someone of your stature in the industry and they think, well, you've got all of these advantages and all of these tools available to you, and you just reach on the shelf and pull one off. And people don't realize that everybody starts at the same place, ground zero. And your
we don't have to make this hard. Well, I've built businesses from, my husband calls it, you take a couple of toothpicks and you build a lumber yard with it. And that's what you do. I mean, we started in the alarm business. We came out the first ones in the country that did the zero down alarm companies. Everybody thought we was nuts. They thought we were absolutely crazy. It couldn't be done. That was back in the days when AT&T was selling alarm systems for $5,000 and the monitoring on top of it. And we came in with a zero down program, and while we were putting 100,000 systems in a week, And it's about talking to people. You cannot forget that there's a person on the, whether it's the other side of that computer, the other side of that phone. That's a real live breathing person, and we have to create that relationship with them. And that relationship is more important than the sale itself. It really is. I wouldn't want somebody to just call me. The hardest person in the world to sell is a salesperson. I've been in that
Yeah.
industry for 35 years. If somebody calls me up and they start giving me a pitch, click, I can't listen to a pitch. I need somebody to be real with me. And, hey, Cheryl, listen, got something to talk to you. How's the kids? How's the family? How's life treating you? You have to have that connection, to start that conversation. And I know that y'all may have different rules and theories. This is me, and this is how I've lived my life. Is just pick up a phone or go knock on a door or see somebody. If I see somebody in the mall and they're 3 feet in front of me, they deserve a smile. I'm sure we are way too busy in this life today to sit and talk to people and get to know them. And that's a sad thing. If every day, if you went to the grocery store or down to the convenience store and you just stuck your hand out and say, hey, I'm Wally Paper, Wally Piper, and it's nice to meet you. It's been a great day out here today, or pat them on the back, or, the world is starving for people to care, to
Cherylanne,
really
you'd
care. And if you don't have the heart.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
Okay, I was just going to say what you were just saying. I've had with Joe Shoup living down here with me. It's been a real trip because when we go to the store, what you just said is precisely what he does. He walks through the store, and within minutes, he's made friends with a half a dozen different people. Yeah. Oh, there she's coming
Here she
back.
comes. She's coming back in. Yeah, she does a pretty good job about getting back in.
Yeah, she really does. She's got that down to a science.
Yeah, she's got her internet connection is just a little weak right now, so bear with us, folks, because she's coming back. It's just a matter of just a second here to get her reconnected. And we apologize, but there you go. I mean, that's what it's all about. I relate to this. Wally, because I was in sales for 25 years, selling to manufacturing companies, which is anything but building relationships from the standpoint that you have to deal typically with either business owners or you have to deal with engineers. And if I'm dealing with engineers, I certainly was not building much of a relationship, unless they like to fish, and then every once in a while we'd go fishing. But I did build relationships with a lot of the business owners, but purely on a professional level. And that's the way I handled sales for 25 years. And making the transition from that field and coming out of selling to industry and to clients that owned manufacturing companies into this field, where it's all about, like Cherylanne says, all about relationships and building relationships. It's been one of the hardest things I've ever done. It really has.
Yeah, well, now that we got Cherylanne back, because she comes and goes, let's take advantage of her while she's here.
I closed Skype down, so maybe that will help.
Oh, that will. It cleared up your picture a bit.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, Skype eats up a whole bunch of bandwidth, and if you're on a limited scale out there, it'll consume it. Okay, so back to what we were talking about. So, you're right. You have to have that. There has to be at some point a personal relationship, because what is it, the saying that people like to do business with people they like, and the more people you get to like you, obviously, the more people you're going to be able to get to do business with. But we say that, and the people that don't have that kind of outgoing, gregarious personality, are they frozen out of the market? No, not at all. It's just that they have to take the time to learn a few simple techniques. And I know that you were, like you say, your parents said you always talk too much, and I said my parents said the same thing. But are those skills acquired, and are they transferable as far as what your ability to be able to communicate?
Absolutely.
Cherylanne.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Can you hear me? Can you
Yes.
hear
Yeah.
me, Wally?
Yeah.
Okay. Um, Absolutely they do. But, sometimes, you know, I'm very outgoing, as you all know, but I'm also an extremely shy person. I know that's hard to believe, but I am extremely shy. Um, I am not the person that you want to put on a stage. That's always been my husband's, deal. He's the one that went on stage in front of tens of thousands of people. And, then I come along and meet Jimmy Larson. He says, "You're going to have to do webcast." And I said, "Oh, no. Why don't he, call me Moses, because I've got Aaron over here and Joe Norman and Boomer. And let them do it." And I did not want to do that, Wally. It was so hard for me. And then we went on the tour a couple of years ago, the 9-city tour. And Harold was emphatic that I was going to be the one on the stage. And I'm like, "You don't understand. This is not my strong suit." And, it seems kind of like my dad, sink or swim, Cheryl, because you're up, and you just get up and you do it. But many of us never meet our destiny because we're frozen with fear. And if I can suggest one thing, there's a book out there. It's called "So As a Man Thinketh." Get that
Yeah.
book, because there's some, words are very powerful, and affirmations are very powerful. But a person, I guarantee you, each and every one of you have friends. You got people that you can call, up right now if you needed something. If you had a flat tire, you can call them up. You know how to talk to those people. The challenge is, how do you talk to a stranger? That's always hard for me. And then sometimes it was easier to talk to a stranger than somebody I knew. But, do a lot of those books and read. It's very important, because you've got to, you're a very important person. Every one of you, and including myself, were fearfully and wonderfully made. You need to believe that, because that's a fact. We were made in God's perfection. Don't ever let the world tell you that you're not something, or you're not capable, because then you deny the promise of God. And I hate to bring religion in there, but it's true. We are fearfully and wonderfully made, and we need to believe that. We need to believe that it starts with us. But absolutely, I open my mouth sometimes. I never, plan on what I'm going to say. I just shoot from the hip. But you never know that what might comes out of your mouth may make the difference in somebody else's life. So if you're not talking to people, you're not sharing with people, you may be holding them back from a blessing that they deserve. So get out there and talk. It don't hurt. Worst they can do
Yeah.
is hang up the phone or turn the camera off. It's the
Yeah.
worst they can do.
Absolutely, and that doesn't hurt a single soul. Hey,
Don't hurt a
Cherylanne,
bit.
I've got several more questions, but we're running out of time, and I know that Lita had a couple of things that she wanted to close with. So again, I want to thank you for my portion of the presentation. How much I appreciate your comments, because I feel that they answered for me a lot of things that I was curious about, and I'm sure they answered questions for people out that were watching. And so again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for being a member of our team today. So, Lita, I will turn this back over to you, and you can close out with the questions you have for Cherylanne.
Okay. Thank you. Cherylanne, when you were speaking about Jimmy Larson, I just really got goosebumps all over again. And, those were really exciting times. And, coming into your webcasts was always such an inspiration. So, you don't need to apologize for anything that, you are saying. And, you really have warmed our hearts very much. And you're part of, like you've always included each and every one of us, that we're part of the Carrot Bar Nation. We're part of your family. We're the new extended family. There's, like you said, there's so many broken people and so many people who are searching for the next level. And so I guess maybe that's my next question. Where do we see ourselves with the next level as we hang on to your tailcoats for the next journey here?
No, you know, I see leaders being born every day in carrot bars. And it takes, you know, it takes, this is not about me. It's so much bigger than me. It's, you know, it's not about any one individual. I will go as far to say it's not all about Harold. He knows that. You know, there's something very special about what we have here at Carrot Bars. We're actually encouraging people to say. I mean, who does that anymore? Most companies and most advertisements are about how they get your money. You know, how they want you to spend your money. Carrot Bars is really opening doors and taking us back to the basics. You know, why is it important for us to say? Our parents taught us these truths, and it kind of resonates with a lot of people. They just don't know how to get there. But I tell you what, as a team, not as an individual, but as a team of people worldwide, we can literally hold hands, lift each other up, and the sky is the limit. But we have to take care of each other. There's days I don't have good days. You know, Lita, there's probably a few of those you've had along the way, and Wally, Victor, we all have down days. That's when we need our brothers and sisters in Carrot Bars to lift up. And you have lifted me up today with your comments, and I appreciate that. But if we treat each other like that and let everybody know, if you've sponsored someone, let them know how important they are to you. That it's not just about the sale. You really do care about their future, or you would have never opened your mouth in the first place about Carrot Bars. But learn to pass that passion on to others, and that conviction, because I think it's a conviction for me. I have to do this. I have to talk to other people. I don't want them left out in that system of debt. I don't want that. It will break my heart if I talk to someone and I see them 6 years or 10 years down the road in the soup line. And when they had an opportunity, it's still going to break my heart. But at least I know that I opened the door for them. And instead of sitting there watching it happen and watching life go by, and you never once gave them an opportunity to change their life. And that's the mindset we have to have. But things are looking good. You know, we're adding a lot of people each and every month. You know, new things are coming, and now we've got the Las Vegas, you know, incentive contest going where we get to meet each other again and have a few necks and meet all these new people that are coming in. It's going to be a fun time in Vegas. So get to these events. You want to be part of it. Come to these hangouts, the webcasts, the events, Skype rooms, Facebook. We're begging you, connect with us. We want to get to know you.
Wow, Lita, anything to add here?
I think she said it all, you know, and that's from the leadership, you know, right from the top. And it's really spoke to my heart again. And I'm really, really thankful that you were here to share that, because it is so vitally important that we remember that, you know, we need to have that touchable experience with, you know, human beings. And it's so important. So thank you again for reaffirming that for me, especially personally. And so I hope you come back. And it's been a real thrill for me personally again. And so, Victor, over to you.
Wally, anything to add?
No, I think I think Cherylanne said it really as succinctly and cogently as possibly could have been said. I mean, you can tell when you listen to Cherylanne speak that she is truly a people person, and there's no question that it doesn't resonate with people, that motherly, I guess, and I don't mean this in anything other than most complimentary terms, but it almost sounds motherly when Cherylanne goes out and she's talking with people, because it's like she wants to take them in and make them part of her big family that's getting bigger all the time. And I don't know, at some point, Cherylanne, you would almost think that I would think that you almost would run out of something to give, but you just seem to have a reservoir that never ends. So for those of us who've been positively affected by that warmth and love that you share with us, we really appreciate it.
Cherylanne, I really want to thank you for joining us today, and I'm just going to add a couple of things here that I picked up on while you were talking. For the second time today, we've really heard somebody say, oops, she's gone again.
She's gone again.
We heard this morning on the Breakfast Club, and, it's been said that I don't really plan on what I'm going to say. I just shoot from the hip. In other words, I get up there and I talk, and whatever comes out of my mouth comes out of my mouth. So we've heard that. We heard that from Jennifer this morning. We heard that today from Cherylanne. So, that should be a reminder to all of us that we really don't have to, I think there's a lot that we need to do as far as practicing and getting our skills up to where they need to be. We really don't have to worry about what we're going to say. Just be genuine, just be open with people, and, just engage them in conversation and show them your love. I wished I could quote the saying, but I can't say it right now, but it's basically, it says that people aren't interested in what you can do until they know how much you care. I think that's it. So, I will going to conclude it today. It was an excellent presentation, and I know that we'll see a lot of people that will view the recording. It'll be up on YouTube here very, very shortly, and everybody can tune in and take a recap of it. I apologize for if it comes through in poor quality, but there's nothing we could do about the internet connection that she had today, and we will definitely have her back. We're coming up, let's see, what's today? Today is the 29th. Today's the day before my birthday, so tomorrow's my birthday. And
wonderful! Happy birthday!
Happy birthday, Vic.
Hey, I would make a quick announcement, Vic, before we conclude.
Yeah. Okay, go right ahead.
Cherylanne will also be with us again tomorrow on the Breakfast Club, so it's a double header for us. So we get a chance to work Cherylanne over twice, but she will be on the Breakfast Club tomorrow. So just wanted to make that announcement.
Great. So we will be back on the 12th of August, and then we're going to take a couple of weeks off, and we will be back on the 2nd of September with Joe Shoup and Joyce Becker. We will be featuring the two of them. On the 2nd, we are going to be talking about marketing systems and blogging. So stay tuned. In August, we will be talking on the 12th. I'll surprise you. We'll have a good subject for you. So, having said that, everybody, have a great day.